Celebrate the flavours of the best of seasonal produce to make this delicious chutney, which goes well with the food of the festive season. Mango chutney is easy to make, and the quantity will give you several jars to give away, as well as to keep some for yourself. The ingredients aren't complicated. The main components are mangoes and onions. Choose mangoes that are not overripe for best flavour. These get roughly chopped up. Then there are the ingredients which serve as the preserving components, sugar and cider vinegar. The rest of the ingredients are the aromatics, the spices that give the chutney a wonderful depth. They include freshly grated ginger, cumin seeds, ground coriander and ground cloves, as well as mixed spice. If these aren't your favourite, you could substitute other spices. It'll only affect the taste and not the keeping quality of the chutney. The hardest part of making this chutney is chopping, weighing out and measuring. The rest is easy, but get all of this ready before you start cooking. I like to use a heavy base saucepan when I'm cooking any preserve, as the heat is evenly distributed and the base less likely to scorch over the long cooking period. Get your saucepan on the stove and start adding the ingredients, the mango and onion first, then followed by the sugar and vinegar, and lastly the spices. Keep stirring over low heat until all of the sugar is dissolved, and then bump up the heat to bring your mixture to the boil. Once bubbling away, turn the heat down so that the mix simmers. Stir it occasionally, and gradually you'll find that it thickens and becomes more homogeneous. This might take up to an hour, but usually a little bit less. This is not the time to leave the kitchen, but it is the time to start sterilising your jars and getting your lids ready to be sterilised. Once your chutney is ready, it's time to put it in your jars. Using a ladle with a funnel, and this is a special stainless steel funnel that sits nicely into the jars, carefully transfer the hot chutney into the warm jars and then tighten the lids. Sometimes I like to turn the jars onto their lids for a couple of minutes. This will help create a vacuum seal, as the lids will expand once heated, allowing any hot air to escape, with the result that the lids will vacuum seal tightly once the contents have cooled. As with many preserves that have a combination of sugar and vinegar in them, it's best to wait at least a week before tucking into these delights. That way the flavours can mellow and fuse, and the vinegar or sugar won't dominate. Label your jars, and then if you're gifting them for Christmas, you can also pretty them up. Mango chutney, easy and delicious.